Hello, everyone. Hi. First time back for a while. Life's been all over the shop, but I'm back. I'm ready. I need you guys to be commenting. I can't tell if you're there without any comments, so I can't read for you if I don't know you're waiting. So tell your friends, tell your neighbours, tell the people in the corner shop. Put your comment on, say hi, say hello, and we will see. Hello, Donna. Hello, Anna. Hello, Nightfall. Davy Jones. Actually, Davy Jones, yes, you can have a message. Yes. Just writing you down because I don't want to bug you if you come commenting again. Those of you who have seen me before know I use the cards to help me and spirit focus. So I do a 3-card read for you. The 3-card read is where you're at, where you're going, and how you get there. If your person that is talking to you, you're very welcome, Davy. If the person talking to you comes close enough, I will try to give you a little of their personality. I don't get names. I can't always guarantee who's going to come to me. We will just see who's ready to talk to us. But I've got Davy waiting. So there we go. There's your 3rd card, Davy. So I will show you the cards and then I will tell you what they are telling me. Let's get that ready. There you go. Practice. See the dancing unicorn there? That is where you're at the minute. Definitely yes. That is your future card. That is an intellectual yes. This deck does have 2 kinds. And that is your decide card. That is your change card. What do you need to change to help that future come the way that you would like it to? Oh. Right, somebody coming close to you is trying to give you some emotion, as you can tell. They're not giving me who they are at the minute, other than a whole lot of affection, a whole lot of nurturing and love. So, Davy, your practice. You're working on something. You're trying to get your ducks in a line for something. The ducks in a line aspect is you're trying to tidy up the loose ends and you're trying to get things moving in the direction that you want them to be in. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fabulous. But you're also coming to a point where you're going to have to select whether you're going to go this direction or go this direction. The practice is going to be working out which things are very important to you and which things you've been thinking are important, but once you actually examine it, they're not such a big deal for you. Now that will take you to the point where you're reaching your decision. It's only by kind of clearing the decks that you're going to be able to see which is the way to go. You're going to need to spend a little bit more time on focusing on clearing the decks and focusing on getting those little ducklings lined up, because those are going to be the tasks and the jobs and the time spent that's going to help you focus your mind on that decision as it arises. Decisions coming in the next couple of months, so you need to kind of get your boot in gear, really. They're not saying kick yourself up the backside. They're saying, don't slow down, don't slack off, or you'll get surprised. Now, your final card, your future card, is your intellectual yes. Now, there are 2 kinds of yeses that we do. There's the logical brained yes. Forgive me there, Davy. And then there's the heartfelt yes. There's the, what do I want to do? When you're a child, you want to be an astronaut, cowboy who lives under the sea. When you're an adult, you want to be more focused on what is actually achievable in your environment. It's pretty hard to be a cowboy astronaut that lives under the sea when you live in the center of an island that has no coast anywhere near you. So your future, you're looking at your intellectual yes. Which ones are achievable? Which ones are actually a sustainable realistic option and which ones are the pie in the sky dreams. So that is the long and the short of it for you, my dear. You carry on working on getting your things lined up. You pay some real attention to the things that are achievable and the things that you desire, and then you hit that decision. There's going to be a likes and loves, a goods and greats kind of choice, and that is when you get to actually making that intellectual choice. You sort of narrow things down to start with, narrow, fine point. Yes, definitely I will go with that intellectual option, not the pie in the sky airy fairy one. Okay, my sweet, I hope that helps you. I hope that resonates with you. And let's have a look and see who else is on. I'm glad that makes sense at least. Hello, Janine. Hello, Althea. Anne-Marie, let's have a chat. Let's see what the cards are. I cannot guarantee a definitive yes, ask this person this or go to that person that. I can only tell you what your spirit is thinking you need to hear right now. It's not always what you want to hear, but it may well be what you need to hear. So I'm not necessarily going to tell you about a specific person. This is more about yourself than other people. Okay, my lovely one? So your present card is a relationship card, the best friends. Your future card is water. And your change card is creative. Now I'm going to hold that one a bit longer just because you need to pay attention to what is in front of the unicorns there. Okay. And the answer to that question, what is in front of the unicorns, is nothing. So where you're at right now, my lovely one, you are being told very, very clearly that you need to be thinking, reacting, and supporting yourself as a best friend would support you. You need to be your own best friend now. So the best friend will tell you the realistic things. Does that colour look good on you? Does that dress suit you? Does that jumper, suit the occasion? Are you going to be too hot in that coat? Is the colour right? Does those jeans make your bum look big? Your best friend is going to be very realistic, supportive and kind. You're not going to be cruel, but you are going to be sitting there and saying, this is reality. I love you dearly. This is what is happening. This is what you need to do. They're pushing you to start asking the questions. And I know your initial question to me was, can I talk to you about somebody that you like? I think what they are suggesting to you, what Spirit is suggesting to you, is that you start asking the questions. Now, being creative about something is just, how can you improve something? The how, why, what, where, when. So with the creative card coming up as your change card, I think the change you need to make is asking the questions. What is it that is going right for me in this life? What is it that's going wrong for me in this life? What is it that draws me to this direction, this person, this job, this situation, this hobby? Why am I doing this? Why am I liking them? What am I spending my money on? What am I spending my time on? What am I focused on? And ask yourself those questions from different perspectives as well. Do I do a job because I need the income, or because actually this job is a great stepping stone to the career I want in my life? Do I do this job just for the wages and all that kind of stuff? Now that's going to bring you to your future, my love. Water. Now we're not talking about just taking in water, we're talking about taking in energy, and that is telling you to spend a little bit more time on yourself and how you prioritize yourself, not always giving to everybody else, but actually scheduling in some time for you. A lot of us are terrible at that. I'm terrible at it. Actually booking in a slot of time where you put your needs, your feelings at the top of the list for a change, that you're not just sitting there running at full blast trying to sort everybody else's life and problems out. You actually include some time for you there. So a quick recap. Right now, you need to be your own best friend and talk to yourself kindly but realistically. You need to creatively look at things from a different perspective in your life. And you also need to start centering yourself more in your life and looking at how you can prioritize yourself and not always other people. All right, my sweet one. I don't know whether that's going to help you with your question about your friend, but I do think that that will help you to maybe clear your mind a little bit, clear the decks, and then you can see what this friend is adding to your table. I hope that helps, my lovely one. Thank you for the comment about the advice. I do appreciate that thought. Remember, anybody who's watching or listening, if you don't comment, you don't stand a chance of getting a reading. Okay, my lovelies? Janine Barker. I think that was the surname I saw. I saw Janine. There we are, Janine Barker. Hello, my love. I will do you in just a second. Just writing names down because I don't want to keep going to the same person time and time again, and then somebody get bored of the sound of my voice and nobody else gets the chance to be annoyed by me. Giving the cards a real good shake up for you, Janine, just so that we can make sure what Spirit are telling you is what they think you need to hear. Holding the cards up so you can see a little bit of how I work. I shuffle and I get Spirit to pull the cards that are right for you from the deck. Okay, everyone? You're more than welcome, Janine. I'm absolutely delighted that you're here listening and maybe taking on board some of what I say and maybe ignoring it. That's entirely up to everybody else out there. Janine, your present card is telling you to try something new. Who would not want to try something new with the orca and the unicorn and the dolphin all swimming together? That looks like a swim I could go on. Your future card, family culture. And your change card is practice. Okay, let's have a look. Now, the person that is talking to you, my sweet, had a quite demanding job on them, quite physical. I'm getting some lower back pain as though I'm constantly lifting or moving or hoofing things. I hope that makes sense to you and you can think of someone you know that have moved forward in life. That's the person that is trying to speak to you right now. So they're telling you that your current time, either just about to start or to come very shortly, is to try something new. I think what they're trying to suggest to you is that you're in a little bit of a day-to-day rut. It's very easy for us all to get there when Monday to Friday you're doing the 9 to 5. You get up, you go to work, you get home, you get to bed. That's it. There's not always a lot of time in the day to do anything else. But you are being told that now is a pretty good time for you to start shaking things up and looking at new opportunities that are around you. Might not be employment wise, might not be relationship wise, might not be home wise. It might be something very unusual in there. I'm getting a link to relationships and family, and I'm not suggesting for a second that you split the deck and split up or anything like that, but perhaps change the way that you approach things in some respect. So trying something new might be changing your diet or decorating, or it could be anything from something small to something big. It's entirely within your remit. But when you try that something new, it's going to feel very alien to you. So it might be a new health regime and you don't fancy getting up an hour earlier to go for a walk around the block or whatever, coming home an hour later because you've gone to the gym for some runs or whatever. The key that they are telling you to this something new is that practice, that you are going to have to keep at it to see the best of it. You can't, we all know this logically, but they are reminding you that you can't pick up a new habit today and it embed for tomorrow. You have to work at it. You have to make it a frequent event in your life for it to actually make a difference in your life. So you're being guided to start off with shake things up a little bit, try something from a different perspective in some way in your life. then practice at keeping at that, because family culture, you are going to have to take a look at how your daily life runs in your household. What is it that you usually do? How is it that you usually do it? And what is it that impacts you or doesn't about that? In our family culture, we will often find that somebody's doing something that either undermines us or upsets the apple cart, just unsettles us somehow. So basically, you're being told you're going to try something new, you're going to keep working at it to make it work, but your family are going to be a little bit slower in supporting you in that, and you just need to keep at it. You just need to say to them, well, this is what I'm trying, this is what I want to do, and I'd like your support. So you do need to shake things up a little bit, and you do need to try and get the people around you, friends, family, and so on board, just to back you up with that a little bit. I hope that makes sense. I can see you saying that you're in a rut. Sometimes just taking a walk around the block and doing that each night can be enough to shake that rut off a little bit, because you see all kinds of things. Even in your local neighbourhood, you see all kinds of things from a different perspective in different weather. And don't dismiss going out in the rain, because sometimes you'll see some remarkable things when it's raining. So take a look at your life, see what you can shake up, Janine. Okay? They're telling you now's a good time to start. Now's a good time to embed those habits. So why don't you jump on it fairly soon, in the next couple of weeks. Okay, lovely one. Let's see who else has been commenting while we've been chatting. Helen Mansell from Wiltshire. You're very welcome, Janine. Helen Mansell from Wiltshire. There we go, my lovely one. I worked in Wiltshire for a little while. Lovely little area. That's how I used to change up my perspective and do something new. I used to work in different areas of the country, and some of the places I went had their difficult points. That was the nature of the job I was doing, but they had some beautiful, beautiful areas, and Wiltshire was one of those places that had some absolutely astounding, beautiful areas around it. It was lovely. Definitely enjoyed my time there. I think you're very lucky to be living there, Helen. Let's have a look at your cards. Well, your first card, my love, is let go of stress. Your second card, look at that absolutely beautiful sunrise there, is happy thoughts. And then your change card is to believe in yourself. What a powerful message that is for us all, isn't it? Just believe in ourselves a little bit. So, a little bit of a story. We all know that I like my little stories. I like to picture stress as different carrier bags. So if you imagine each carrier bag has, I don't know, a carton of orange juice in it, something quite heavy, but on its own it's fairly manageable, yeah? And that is your stress. That one carrier bag with your orange juice in it is one thing that you're stressing about. So here we go into one of my little stories. Somebody phones you up, Helen, and says, I need a plumber right now. And you go, yes, that's absolutely great. Let me take that carrier bag off of you with your orange juice. And that is your stress I'm taking away about your plumber, because here I have a plumber's number. Take that plumber's number and I will take your stress. But you don't stop there. You'll then go, I'll ring you later. Hey, did you get hold of that plumber? Let me take another bag of stress from you. Did they get back to you with a good price? Did they fix your leak? Has your carpet been damaged? Has your floorboards been damaged? Have you managed to get rid of the damp smell? Has the leak come back? Was it really expensive? And you carry on and on and on and on and on until you don't just have one bag of orange juice, one bag that you're carrying of that stress. Here is my plumber's number. You have 20 of them because you're picking up all of the other little bits of stress that are not your role. Your role is, here is a plumber's number. Now, I've used this example a lot because I think it's kind of easy to picture. So then you're wandering around with 20 odd bags of stress that are not yours, and you start to feel a little bit weighed down, and you get a bill through the door. And you go, oh no, it's the beginning of the month, and this is due on the last day of the month. But that's okay, I get paid 2 days before then, so I'll have the money to pay the bill because the wages will come in time. Brilliant. But instead of putting your own stress bag down, you wake up in the morning and you go, oh my God, I must pay that bill before the end of the month. And you add more stress to it than is needed because you've already solved the problem. It's going to get dealt with at the right time. And then you wake up the next day, I must remember to solve that problem with the bill and pay it by the end of the month. And you're carrying extra stress that isn't needed. So not only are you now carrying all your friends' stress about their plumbing, but you're also carrying all your own stress that you don't need about a problem that's going to be solved easily. But you're weighed down by shopping. And what you're being asked to do with let go of stress is start to put those things down. Start to respect your own role in things. Start to respect when a problem is dealt with, when a problem is put to one side, and when that problem is not dealt with, and when you need to actually rely on the stress. Now, stress was initially a factor that kept us alive, makes us pay attention. As women out in the world, then I make the assumption that you're female, you will be aware that there are times we get stressed. Maybe a man doesn't. We're walking down past an alley entrance and we can feel our heart rate go a little bit more. Is there anybody in that alley? Is there a car in that alley? Is somebody going to jump out? We hold those additional stresses anyway. We don't need to hold them 5 miles later. We don't need to hold on to your friend's plumbing issue 5 days later. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the point's there. So your initial thought is figure out how to put down some of those stresses. Don't carry them so much. And the tip that you're being given is believe in yourself. You're being told if you can trust in yourself that you are going to manage that stress without having to go overboard on it. Like I said with the bill example, you get it, you look at it, you've got a plan for it, you put it to one side, you pin it to the calendar, you write it on the calendar to make sure you don't forget. Problem solved or problem managed. Okay. Manifesting is a great way of doing things, but over focusing on it can be a great way of turning it away. You need to be careful with your manifesting that you are saying thank you for the work, not I really need work. Yeah. So your manifestations to the universe is this work will be a good job, easily done, but with a nice pay rate to it, whatever it might be. Just a tip on the manifestation thing. But you're on the right lines because your future is with your happy thoughts. So if you can turn the stress angles around into, I have got things under control, I am manifesting the future that I deserve by telling myself, actually, I'm worth it. Not I will be worth it, not I might be worth it, but thank you for recognizing I am worth it. Thank you for giving me that job that is going to pay off that bill. Thank you for helping me get through this period of time. I know we will be fine. All those kind of things. They're telling you now you're overstressing a little bit and you need to have more confidence in yourself. You do need to trust and believe in yourself. As I say, manifestation is a great way to go when you do it in the right way, in that positive way, in that grateful and appreciative, thank you for what I already have way. But don't doubt yourself in other areas as well. You may be able to deal with things more directly than waiting for the universe to step in. They may have other plans for you too. So keep your eyes open. There could be other things out there to support your life and support your situation. Okay, my lovely? I hope that helps. But you've got happy thoughts coming your way. So I'm pretty sure that you're going to get through this situation without too many scrapes. All right, my lovely? Let's see who else is around. That's one of the things you need to be careful of, my darling. You can't always give everything to everybody, but forget about you. Donna Marie. Donna Marie had a little kitty cat then. Hello, my darling. I see your puppy dog. I remember you from a previous reading, I think, my lovely one. But I am getting drawn to you again, so we'll go from there. Okay, my lovely one? What happens, folks, when I see your comment come up? I look for little sparkles or like flashes and things like that. That's how Spirit draw my attention to you to say, oh, hang on a minute. We've got somebody here who wants to say something. So, Donna Marie, your current card is share. I'm trying to show you all of the images very clearly on there because you've got fairy on the beautifully decorated unicorn sharing with an elf or a pixie or something like that. And your future card is teamwork. It's that beautiful little kitty catty working with that unicorn so well. And then your change card. How very appropriate. We have the kitty cat and then we have the puppy dog. That's pets. Now, we're not necessarily talking about pets themselves. We're talking about the relationship that pets bring us. We're talking about the dynamics and we're talking about how we relate to ourselves within those dynamics. I'll explain more in a sec. So, currently, you need to be sharing. You need to be sharing the things that you're good at and the things that you can do and helping other people see where your strengths are and not just stepping back and hiding away and not letting other people see those things that are unique about you. Sometimes we'll get a little bit kind of gun shy and sit back and don't actually sort of put our hands in the air and say, yeah, I can do that. Somebody in your spirit world, and I'm getting smoking and I'm getting two people. I'm not sure if they're actually related or if they are, I'm not sure they're a couple, I should say. I'm not sure that they are a husband and wife, husband and husband, wife and wife. I'm getting that they could be family in a different way, like aunt and cousin, brother and sister, sister and sister, something like that. I'm not getting a gender yet. But the two people are trying to push you forward into the spotlight a little bit more. They're trying to push you out there. Now, if you look at these cards in the sequence that they're giving me, they are looking at the pets. And the one thing that we give our pets, that our pets give us by the bucket load in return, is unconditional acceptance, complete adoration, and total trust. You know, your pet will trust that you are going to give them their next meal, that you are not going to kick them in the belly when they come and say they're hungry, that you're going to stroke them and see that they're healthy and they see the vets and all those things. Your pet trusts that you have the best for them. You need to start trusting yourself in that same way. You need to start trusting that unconditional acceptance is there, that nurturing, that loving. You need to give that to yourself. You need to trust in yourself that, you know, there are good things around you and you can push yourself forward to them. Now you get to your teamwork and we say, right, so you have something that you need to be sharing and you need to get pushed forward. We've got the pets card indicating that you need to trust in yourself and accept that nurturing and encouragement that pets would give in return. And then we need to look at teamwork, that in the future you will be working with others. It's a very, very simple message. You have skills, you have talent. You need to accept and work with that talent in the same way our pets accept and work with us. And in the future, you will be using that skill with others in a team basis. You will be engaging with others side by side and working together. You're not going to be able to see the rest of everything through completely on your own. It will take other people around you, but don't be afraid of that. Don't shy back. Be like a pet and accept and nurture that relationship and that dynamic in the way that pets do with ourselves. Okay, Donna, I'm glad you can identify the people that were smoking. At least one of them is a female, and they had shorter hair. The hair was kind of fuller bodied, but they didn't like it curly, so it wasn't permed or anything like that. It was just, it got a natural body and bounce to it. And they're giving me a female nurturing energy, so I presume that they are a woman. It could just be a very nurturing man. There are a few out there, I promise you that. So I hope you can recognize with that little added bit of description who that person is now. All right, Donna, let's have a look at the time. I haven't even seen what the time is yet. Oh, we are halfway through, folks. Let's have a look and see who else is around. I did see somebody's name come up that I was very intrigued with. Oh, boy. Lovely to see so many names coming up. Motivational. You weren't the person who caught my eye to start with, but you are definitely vibrating and sparkling now. So I think your person might have just stepped into my room with me. So let's see what they've got to say to you, my darling. There we go. Now, my throat is getting quite raw after that last person, so I'm going to have another drink, okay, people? So, motivational. I'm going to call you vibes, okay, my darling? That's where you are at the minute, my sweet. Happy thoughts. Your future has decisions. I'm going to bring that card forward. I know we've had it earlier today, but I love that unicorn under that fountain. Isn't it pretty? So that is your present and your future. And how will you get there? You will be listening to your true feelings, my love. Okay, so happy thoughts. Your person has quite a lump in their chest. It's like they had a difficulty swallowing not far from their moving forward. And their throat is quite raspy as well. But they are trying to tell you that you're not in a rut, but you're in danger of getting there. So they're kind of striking now to say to you, you really, really need to be looking at the things that give you joy, the things that make you smile, even if it's, you know, you've cooked a lovely dinner, you've done the dishes, the kitchen's all nice and clean and tidy, and that makes you smile because look at that. Isn't that a lovely sight to see? No dishes waiting, cookers all cleaned down, everybody's happy. It could be a hobby that you like doing. It could be a job done well at work. But the thing that gives you joy is the thing that you need to start focusing on and bringing back and bringing more present, rather than getting caught up in that, not negative, but it's a kind of, it's a flat plane. There's not really a lot of high, not really a lot of low. It's just there. It's, you get up, you go to work, you come home, you go to sleep. That's it. That's life. Up, work, repeat. Working on your creativity could be exactly what they're referring to, because that's something that allows you freedom and allows you to smile and allows you to just relax and enjoy yourself. Now, they're telling you right here, you're going to have to listen to your feelings. Now, if we think of that in conjunction with what you've said about creativity and the fact that you're heading to a future that you will need to make decisions in, that would imply that your true feelings with your creativity may mean that you want to explore something new, or you want to explore what you do in a slightly different way, something that you know in your heart, this is what I would like to do, but I'll do, no, focus on the I would like to do this. This is my true belief. I really would like to do this. If it's something that takes a little bit more investment, then save up. Sounds like a good plan. You listen to your feelings, you go forward. Now that will bring you to decisions to be made. It'll also bring you, having done my bachelor's, it will bring you a lot of decisions in the instant, doing this first, prioritizing that, and which projects to work on. But what they are telling you right now is find your happy place, listen to your true beliefs, to your true desires, and then make decisions that support that. The decisions are coming. They're going to be under your nose. You're not going to have to seek them out. They're finding their way to you as we speak. What you need to do with them is be in a calm and relaxed place where you can see the happy, you can see the joy that you can get, and make those decisions that support that. Doing your family master's degree, they will be elements in there that will allow your creativity to spring. And creativity is asking the questions, isn't it? It's just asking the how and the why. There'll be oodles of room for you to do that. All right then, vibes. I'm glad you understand. I hope I'm talking sense. But that is what your person with the almost a lump in their throat is telling you. Okay, my lovely one. Now let's move on and see who else has got the sparkles about them today. Ian, what bright red flowers you've got there. And Jemmy, you're coming up as well. So I'm going to write that down. We'll do Ian and then we'll do Jemmy. So if we can go for Ian, please. Ian Watson. There we are, my darling. I am drawn to your sparkles. I can only say that in an environment like this. If I say that out loud, you know, walking down the street and I see somebody walking there in a rainy day and they've got their umbrella up over them. Hello, you Mr. Strange Person. I'm drawn to your sparkle. I would probably get some very comfy coats where you can cuddle yourself all day long. I don't think they use those coats anymore. Here we go, Ian. Let's see what we've got for you. Okay. Let go of stress. A future in which there is curiosity. Curiosity embodied by a kitty cat seeing what's happening in the magic horn. And your change card is worth waiting for. So, Ian, let's have a look at that first bit. You've already heard me talking in detail to death about letting go of stress. So you are in that same boat where you're picking up everybody else's carrier bags and you're hanging on to them, and then you're worrying about things that you've already got sorted and planned for. You don't need to stress on them as much as you do. It might be a meeting at work with a group of other people and you're thinking, am I prepared for it? You know you are. Don't stress on it. It might be paying the bills. You've got your wages coming on a certain day, or your benefits come in on a certain day. And you know the bills will only get paid when they get paid. You can't get blood out of a stone. And some of what happens with our stress is that's what we try to do. We try to get blood out of a stone, but we do it to ourselves, and we do it to our psyche inside, where we try to put extra hours in the day and we try to put extra pennies in the pound and so on. So you are in that position, my sweet, where you do need to recognize the things that you're stressing about for no reason. They're not serving a purpose. They're not keeping you safe on a dark night. They're not helping you prepare better for talking to the boss about a pay rise. It is literally just wearing you down, and you need to put those things to one side. It'll take quite a bit of reflection and also some practice and putting the work in. But that is where your patience gets rewarded and things are worth waiting for. That adds into me that some of the things that you've been stressing about have been towards building something and to working towards something. I'm getting the feeling that this is either working towards a widening of work or a promotion and improvement in work, something that's going to take you places, something that's going to open doors. And I'm getting the feeling that you're stressing on whether you're putting the right steps in the right places in the right way. And what you need to hear is that you're doing things, but there's other stuff that you're doing the things in the right way, but there are other stuff and things that will come along that will take priority. And that is telling you that actually you may have to wait a little longer. Yeah. That could be what the worth waiting for is then, that you put the stress down and you realize that these things might take a little longer than you're planning, but the outcome will be worth waiting for. It's all the stress that you're holding on to alongside that is not helping you. Okay. Now, your future card of curiosity, when you get to that point that you can see the outcome within reach, you can almost see that outcome within touching distance, that's when your curiosity needs to come out. And by that, I mean, that's when you have to start asking a lot of the questions. Don't wait until all of the T's are crossed and the I's dotted. I'm being given an image of a calendar and there's a date crossed off. I can't see what date it is, but I'm getting a finger tapping at earlier in the calendar. So you're expecting things, for argument's sake, on the 20th. Let's say pretend you're waiting for something on the 30th of February. We know that's not a real date. It's just in there. But you've got that date in your head. That's when there's going to be a conclusion. And I'm being drawn to before that and look at things before that. Ask the questions, the what, where, how, why. So if it's in relation, as you say, to splitting the house after a family loss, then maybe ask the questions about who's paying any solicitor's fees, how are they getting divided up, so that one or other party doesn't get lumbered with all the fees and none of the actual inheritance that your family member wanted to pass on. They're quite belligerent about this look closer earlier. They really are. Pay attention. Those things that you're waiting for are worth waiting for, but whilst you're waiting for them, keep asking the questions, keep looking. Okay, my love, I hope that helps, and I am very sorry for your loss, for your family loss and bereavement, but you don't need to hold on to as much stress as you are, and asking the questions is not always a stressful factor. It's just asking the questions in a polite way, at the right time, and that's not waiting until the 30th of February to do it. Okay, my lovely one. Jemmy, I got you written down next, my love. Hello, my darling. Love the rainbow of hearts there. Somebody has something to say to you, or I wouldn't have seen your name all twinkled like that. Oh, that was quite an emphatic card coming up for you. Remember, anybody watching, if you don't comment, you don't stand a chance. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's what my gran and my mum always used to say. You can stand there with your hands in your pockets hoping for things. That's absolutely fine. But if you don't ask, ain't nobody going to guess what's on your mind. For you, Jenny, what your spirit friends have on their mind is that you need to be trying something new. And in the future, you will be having happy thoughts and focusing on those happy thoughts. And you will get there through that pets dynamic that we've already talked about. So, my lovely, let's see how that interprets. And your person is a male, quite a physically, not a physically demanding as in, my dad used to do lorry driving, and one of the things he did was at one point he was carrying large amounts of meat on his back. I'm talking like having to unload half a side of a cow just by hand. That was obviously physically hard work, but I'm getting the feeling from this particular ache that this person, this gentleman in your life, may have done something like driving, delivery, riding delivery, driving a lorry, driving some kind of a delivery vehicle, maybe a push bike even, but I think it's more likely to be a lorry from the pains and aches I'm getting. And that is the person that is talking to you. Quite a blunt and brusque man at times, but very loving. It wouldn't always be the person that looked like you could approach him, but you definitely could. Sometimes you'd have to pick the right moment though. So your man is telling you you've got something new coming up, something that is, well, I don't often need to go to the very bottom line of the cards, but I'm being drawn to the bottom line on this one. And on this particular card, that bottom line I'm referring to there states you'll only know that you can do something if you try to do that something. And I think that's where you're at the minute. And I think that's what your relative is trying to push towards you. You will not know if you can do this thing you're questioning if you don't at least put out the feelers. Okay. The implication and inference I'm getting is that you're not going to realize how good you will be at something if you don't actually even attempt it. And he's standing behind you saying, give it a good old go. Go, girl. Come on, give it a try. There's nothing to be lost from trying it. That brings us to your change card. And we talked about the relationship that pets give us, that undeniable acceptance. And that's what you're not doing with regard to your skill level, your skill base. You're doubting yourself, you're questioning. You're trying to convince yourself that you know exactly what you can do and you are accepting it, but you always query, are you as good as everybody else? And so to a certain degree, you might know A, B, and C about you, but you rate yourself at, instead of being at a level 10, you would say you're maybe a 7 or 8 and have some confidence about yourself. Come on, accept you, nurture you, support you, be there to encourage yourself and go, maybe I'm a 7 or 8, but actually I'm probably closer than a 9, maybe even a 10 at some things. Don't create doubt where there doesn't need to be, and enjoy what you're good at. So you're trying something new, you're giving yourself that acceptance, and where does that take you to? That takes you to happy thoughts. So that tells me that when you're trying this something new, giving yourself that full encouragement and permission to enjoy it. Don't pretend you know things that you don't, but don't pretend you don't know things that you do. So your happy thoughts will come when you step into your step forward into your strength and acknowledge what you're good at. Then you will get your happy outcome. Okay, Jemmy? Yeah, I get the feeling that if this is your uncle, he often had some awkwardness and stiffness about him when he'd finished work. It is hard getting past the thoughts, but that's where that relationship that pets would give you is the key. Because remember, our dogs, our hamsters, whatever else we might have, the only person that feeds them and cares for them like you do is you. So they have that complete trust and belief that you can do it. Ignore the thoughts. Trust in yourself like your animals would. And we've just got time for one more person. So let's have a real good shake up of the comments there, my lovelies, and see who gets the last sparkles for today. I'm not seeing any new names. There we go. You're very welcome, Jenny. You have some faith and confidence in yourself, my sweet. So anybody else waiting for the last reading of the day, my lovely ones? Uh-huh. Stephen Blethins, that is an awful lot of commentary there in your first comment I've seen. Okay, let's have a look at you, Stephen, and see whether there's anything coming your way today. There should be something coming your way, or I wouldn't have been drawn to read all your comment in that detail like that. There we go. So, Stephen, your first card, your present card, is a picture of you cuddling a kitty whilst a unicorn sits at your feet. And maybe you're wearing that dress. It is a very good dress. Your future card is water. Now remember, we're talking about spiritual energy here, not a glass from the tap. And your change card is healing. So this is all about yourself here, Stephen. This is not about other people. And when we're talking about being thankful, we're not talking about being thankful that you've got whoever in your life, friends, family, work, home. We're not talking about that in this instance. We're talking about you and the uniqueness that is you. Only you can bring you to the table. Only you has done the things in your life in that order, in that sequence. Only you is qualified to be you. There is nobody else that holds those kind of qualifications and keys. And sometimes we get a little bit shy about recognizing and acknowledging ourselves, about actually saying, this is me and this is what I'm good at and this is what I'm here to do. One of the keys to keeping our minds fresh on what we're good at is to actually remind ourselves to be appreciative of it, to actually recognize you work damn hard for whatever qualifications you've got, be they from primary school up to finishing school. You've got things that you did in your way and you got some kind of a result from it, and you need to remember that and acknowledge that. Even if it wasn't the result you tried, it made you work harder for a different one later. If you got a great result, brilliant, you put the work in for it. But you need to start being thankful for what you bring. Now, the healing card, the change, that is about healing yourself. Now, the words at the bottom of that card are resonant in a way. They say on the bottom of that particular card, you have the power to help and heal others. I'm not putting that responsibility on you. What I'm adding to that is you make people feel better by being yourself. You make people feel good when they spend time with you. They enjoy your company. This is not something to ignore or dismiss. People enjoy spending their time with you. That's something else to stick into your thankful tick box. People don't come and spend the night with you for charity. They don't ring you because they get a tick box on their own little chart. They ring you because you are a special person to them. But in the future, you need to watch out what spiritual energy you're giving out. Or if we refer back to the glass of tap water that I mentioned, pardon me, if you look at how much you're doing and how much you're giving out to the world, and then how much time you're spending actually on yourself, giving yourself time for healing, giving yourself time for peace, actually booking in time for some me time, some sitting and rubbing your hands and rubbing your feet, reflexology, or having a bubble bath. You know, it doesn't matter what your little minute of heaven is, that little thing that makes you smile, then as long as it's not illegal, immoral, get on with it. Put some of that water back into yourself that you're busy spreading to everybody else. Put some of that energy back into yourself that you're busy sharing around, the cards are telling you that you're not prioritizing yourself enough, and you need to, in this order, in this sequence, and on a regular basis, remember what you are good at. Remember who you are and what you bring to the table that is only yours. It doesn't matter whether you do it at a level 10 or a level 500. Start looking at things that make you feel just a little bit better, but remember, you make other people feel better. You're not a drain on them. You are a person and a presence in your own right. Put some energy and some priority into you. Make sure that you are looked after on your list of obligations and things to be doing each day. And if I'm the third person to mention it, somewhere is trying to get that message across to you. I would say it's a woman. I would also say that they were a smoker, but I'm getting more of a home rolled backy than actual cigarettes kind of smell to the smoking that they're doing. We've run out of time for today, so I hope that you guys are all happy with that. I'm sorry to anybody I didn't get to. I let the spirit lead me. I let them tell me who's sparkling and what's going on. So try me again in 2 weeks. I shall be back, and it might be your turn then. Take care, everybody that was listening. And remember, when you're on this channel, if you don't comment, you don't get it. If you don't ask, you don't get. That is the rules. Comment, share, tell everybody that we're out here waiting to see what Spirit have to say. Take care, everybody else. That's a really good thing to do, but keep prioritizing your own needs in there. Don't let other people's needs overshadow yours. And on that note, I am going to go. Okay, everybody, take care, my lovely ones. Bye.